Welcome to First and Goal, where everything is made up and the points don't matter. Get ready for the latest and hottest topics in the SML. Let's get started. Here's your host, Mad Bomber.
All right, welcome to First and Goal. Tonight's episode, we've got Prime, It's Lit, It's Fire, 16-time GOAT, one-time First and Goal champion. And then we've got the two newcomers. We've got Tiny and we've got Noel. And we've also got their names out of order. So our first topic is going to be Dan versus QB impressions. So we just watched two teams, top of the AFC West, go at it. It was the game of the week. Turned out to be a really good game. But what do you guys think? We'll start with you, Noel. What do you think about the impressions you got from that game? Where does the AFC West stand and the teams at the top of the AFC?
I think both those teams are probably the two best teams in the league right now. I know the hype on the NBT is quite big. I watched him play last night. It was a pretty good game. But I've seen what QB can do when he's in the zone, and he shreds up opponents, and Dan seems to be his one kryptonite, so to speak. Was it Raymond Calais, I think? This guy that he's running with, 16 carries, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns against QB. There's not a whole lot else to say. Dan makes it work with way less talent than anybody else in the league, and he seems to do it every time he plays big man opponents. So,
all right, Tiny, what'd you come away with?
Well, Dan obviously showed a lot. The thing about QB, though, man, is I feel like I'm not trying to get his head too big here, but it's almost like a LeBron thing. Like the game, he's just feeling it out. And the next time when he comes around, he's going to knock him off. But I don't think it really matters. I think Dan's going to win the AFC West. And, of course, QB is going to get one of the wild card spots. But Week 16 would be a big game if Dan does lose one of these games coming up here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I haven't looked at his schedule. Is there even a game on there that he could lose besides the rematch?
I didn't get his schedule down here, but that's the only one that I've seen that was sure a big game for them was Week 16.
Okay. What do you think, Prime? Did you see anything in that game maybe made you think of something?
Yeah, before I go, old Humpty Dumpty Noel over there saying Dan's working with the least amount of talent in the SML. I'm over here playing with Jacob Eason. Come on, Humpty Dumpty, you fall off the wall again. That's ridiculous. But anyway, back to the topic on here. Dan and QB, the thing about QB is usually in his first game, it is a feel-out game, like Tiny said. QB is a solid player no matter who he plays. But usually the second and third time around, if you ever watch his streams, he's talking about he knows what's going to come after the fact. He doesn't study tape beforehand, but afterhand, that's when he studies it. He watches his own tape. Mm-hmm. And I think QB said will come way more prepared. It's about how I expected it to go. I think into the playoffs in Game 2, I expect QB stud to win. But Dan is a tough player in his own right.
Yeah, I mean, of the two of them, he definitely has less talent. But to say he has less than the rest of the SML might be a bit of an exaggeration. But so we'll move on to topic number 2. Spooky's back. In spooky season, it's October, Halloween, perfect time for Spooky to come back. What do you think he can realistically do with this Rams team, Prime?
Man, spooky. I love you, man. I appreciate your service, but you're kind of like the lint on a shirt. You're trash. You just kind of pick it up and you throw it off. Spooky is garbage, man. I don't know if he's going to win a game this season. Thank the Lord he was simmed against Dumpahanis recently because that game might have been in the 80s. Spooky's not going to win nothing.
That's good news because I have his first round pick. And Tiny, what do you think? You think he's going to win one? Or should I say another one?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if Prime watches league games or not, but he already won a game. And it may have been just because I felt bad because he's been gone for a while, so I kind of was easy on him the first time around. But I get him back Week 16. It'll be all right.
Playing you doesn't count.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Noel, you got something on Spooky?
Yeah, I was going to bring up Spooky's win over Tiny as well. It looked like a pretty nice win. Robert Woods, 4 catches, 115. Van Jefferson caught a 75-yard catch for a touchdown. I mean, that's what Spooky does. He finds ways to get his wide receivers big, long touchdowns. And I mean, at the very least, Spooky is good for a wild card run in the near future. I don't know what Prime's talking about. Well, Spooky's always on the cusp every year, and he gets the statistics just with a bunch of interceptions. If he can keep the interceptions down, he'll be a 7 or 8 win team every year.
Yeah, wouldn't that be everyone? All right, so we're going to move on.
65 times a game.
What's that, Tiny?
Does it count if he throws the ball 65 times a game?
I mean, he gets the statistics. I think that's what I heard. All right, topic 3. So talking about Spooky and his garbage team, you think teams are going to start tanking with the season winding down? There's already, even with 7 playoff spots, there's already teams that, let's face it, they're not going to make the playoffs. Do you think you'll see teams start tanking? Noel, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah, I think absolutely. You've got 3 teams. When I wrote down my notes, 3 teams that had 1 win. I think it's changed a little bit since then, but you're going to see a big hump of teams all with 2 or 3 wins that are all going to start tanking for the top 5, top 6 picks. They're really going to change their team around and look for that X factor in the first round.
All right, Prime, what do you think?
I don't think tanking really happens too much in the SML. For example, Tiny, and he's up after me. I know that he was at the bottom end of the league last cycle, and he wanted to win every game. He wanted to get better. Look, a lot of these guys are grown men who just, they're playing these games for an hour, and it's hard for them just to purposely lose the game no matter what. So I don't think tanking really happens at any level, let alone the SML.
I got to agree. It's tough to go into a game and just try to lose. What do you think, Tiny? Somebody that picks at the bottom normally.
Yeah, don't give him extra points, but I completely agree with him. Just from last cycle, I would always try in every game, even if I was 0-14 when we played, because it happened twice, I believe. But anyway, when I had my notes wrote down, what I wrote down was everybody can still make the wild card in the AFC, technically, except the Jets. But then the Jets go and win a game, against Paulie. So we've seen that coming. And then in the NFC, the Lions and football team, it's over. But so I don't know. I mean, but the Lions, he's won a couple, right? He's won like 2 games now?
He just won his 2nd game.
Yeah, and then 2 that I thought about too was Spooky and Field. They're 2 guys that no matter their record, I don't think they'll ever tank. They'll keep playing no matter what.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's going to take us to our 4th topic. So the 4th topic, recently on The Truth, Paulie came out and said that there's too much content in the SML, that if you're only getting 20 views, that it's just not even worth it. What do you guys think? Is there too much, or should we even have more? Noel, we'll start with you.
Absolutely not. There's never too much content. I think if every single person did it in the league, maybe 20 to 25 minimum would be the only reason I would ever consider there to be too much content. I watch everything, and I really kind of churn for more every single time that I watch something new. So even if it's a 30-second video or the SML Preacher series, which is like a minute long, any content is good content.
Completely agree. What do you think, Tiny?
No, that's exactly what I wrote. Never too much in big letters on my notes here. But as for me, who's busy, which I could do more if whenever I drive on my job, I wish I could listen to the podcast like Paulie's. I don't ever get time to listen to his because I'm out of service range a lot of times. So I can't listen and watch everything. But, I mean, what's it hurt to have it at any point and any time to have different perspectives from everybody? And like Noel said, the church is awesome. I love it. It cracks me up, man. It's so funny.
All right, Prime, what do you think? I mean, you just were recently canceled Total Access, then rumors swirling that it's coming back. So obviously, it sounds like you don't think there's too much content. What are your thoughts?
Paulie's an idiot because, first of all the content is different content. You got SML Church is 2 minutes long. This show, which is completely way different. The thing about Paulie is he feels threatened. His videos get 50 views because he shows it to his classmates, all the kids. He makes them all load up their tablets. They all watch it for 10 seconds. I can pull up the analytics. Nobody's watching his full show. Paulie's a fraud. It's a joke. And Paulie feels threatened. So he's like, hey, don't make shows because I don't want to lose my number 1 spot. That's all there is to it.
All right, yeah, I kind of got to agree that I think the more content, the better. If we were to put out 3 shows a day, I don't think that would be too much. I'm bored as hell. I got plenty of time to listen to stuff, so I think Paulie's way off on that. But I did like that he made fun of QB. That was just...
Yeah, That's good. Anytime you make fun of QB, it's
Yeah.
a good time.
So we like to do that here on the show. And that's going to do it for this show. It's actually ended right around 10 minutes. We're a little shorter than usual. But the score is going to be Tiny 13, Noel 12, and we have our first two-time first and goal winner. Prime is going to have 15 points, and that's the first repeat champion. He has 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Feels good to beat Tiny right at the end again, man. Every time we go head to head, I smack him down. It feels good. I think I should roll up my sleeves in respect of QB. But real quick, guys, I just want to say, hey, 16-time champ. I'm on like a 6-game win streak. Hottest player in the SML. Gonna go for title 17. Watch out. I'm back. The GOAT is back. Hashtag GOAT it up, baby. GOAT it up.
All right. Hey, before we go, do you have anything you want to tell us about Total Access coming back?
Oh, yes. I'll give a little teaser. Sometimes shows are good in seasons. That's
Okay.
all I'll say.
All right. So you heard it here on First and Goal, where our 20 viewers will see a teaser for the new Total Access. Good thing we didn't cancel the show. All right, guys. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it. And can't wait for the next episode.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to First and Goal. Be sure to check out Mad Bomber TV on Twitch and YouTube for the latest from the SML. And we'll see you next time on First and Goal.